Hey guys, it's me, it's Queen Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to somebody else who might like it too. So today I'm going to tell you all about the Beyond Lemuria Oracle cards. But before I do that, I just wanted to give you some really quick information on Lemaria because the entire Oracle deck is based on it. Lemuria is believed to have been a land that sunk, a lost land. And this book I have here by Lucy Cavendish talks about Lemuria. Now, it also talks about Atlantis, and many people are familiar with Atlantis, but not so many with Lemuria. According to the book, Lemuria came first, and it was the first to be destroyed. So if you want to learn all about Lemuria, this is one source that you might want to check out. Likewise, when Lemuria, or before Lemuria was about to sink, it is believed that these crystals, called Lemurian crystals, and you can always tell a Lemurian because the top of it is shaped strangely. Strange, what do they call those? Sacred geography. So that part is strange. And then on the bottom, it's like they've been ripped up from a cluster, like broken off a cluster, and they all have that broken look at the bottom. So when we're finished talking, I will put underneath this video a link to this book, a link to where you can get a crystal if you want one. The Lemurian crystals are said to have information on them from Lemuria. Channeled information. I guess you can channel it during your meditations. That's how some people get the information. They're also said to be protective and healing crystals. So I'll put the link for the books and where you might be able to get an authentic Lemurian, because they have to come from specific places to be Lemurian. So I'll give you that information, and I will also put underneath there a link to where you can get this deck. So let's dive into this deck. First, let me show you the front. Now, one of the things I'm going to tell you up front, if you're somebody who does not like colors, this deck is not for you. This is one of the most beautiful, colorful decks I've ever seen. If you want to read the back, please pause here. And I love it. That's what makes me love it the most. There's so many beautiful colors. The guidebook is substantial. I will show it to you when we're finished looking at the cards. I'm going to show you the back of the card first. I'm going to show you the card stock. Good card stock. It's a matte finish. And it is a large card. So if you're somebody with small hands, they may be difficult for you to work with. Now, if you do have small hands and you like the artwork and you want to work with these, they actually have a pocket-sized version that I have not picked up yet, but you can feel free. I'm going to drop the link to the pocket size as well as the normal size underneath this video. Now, the first couple, as you can see, are the chakras. And what amazes me about this deck is the use of color. Let me get this closer for you guys. I want to make sure you guys really see how beautiful these cards are. Okay. There you go. So, the use of color, the use of light, and the use of the shapes, it's just amazing. I've seen a deck called The Secret Language of Light, and the light part of this deck reminds me of that one, but that's it. Everything else about this deck is amazing, beautiful, and unique. Izzy Ivy said that she channeled each and every one of these. There is 56 cards in this deck, and she says she channeled each and every one. As you can see, each deck has a number, the name of the deck, each card has a number, the name of the card, and a, what are those? Guide words. And if you have this version, it has the guidebook. The mini does not have a guidebook. The mini pocket size, the message is on the back of the card. So I prefer this one, even though I am going to buy the mini. I prefer this one because you get more information about Lemuria. So if you're somebody who wants to study Lemuria, this would be a really easy way to find out a little something about Lemuria every day. And as you can see from looking at these butterflies and these wings and these images, this is a very intense deck. This deck pulls me in. As I sit and look at any one of the cards, I only pull one card at a time right now, even though I believe there's a spread in here. We'll see when we get to the guidebook. But I only pull one card at a time because I find myself so taken in by the image. And I always find things in the image that I didn't see in the image before, which is amazing to me because I'm like, wait a minute, I know I stared at this image for like 5 minutes, and where did that come from? I didn't see that the last time. And I think it's just what you need to see at that moment. The chakras, as you can see, are the first 10 cards, and then she goes even deeper into terminologies and things we're going to see from Lemuria. Now, the belief is that when Lemuria sunk, before it sunk, the belief is that a lot of the people and their things were able to leave Lemuria. That's where we get the crystals from. But it's also believed that some of the people of Lemuria escaped and are still here. And I'll show you when we come to the card where they are. This card here is the reason why I bought the deck, because it reminded me of the star from Tarot, and I'm Aquarius, so the star is my card. And I was looking at it and I was like, wow, look at this card. And it was just talking to me, the love aspect. That's one of the things I keep telling people that I feel from this card, is a very strong sense of unconditional love. Not romantic love, like, you know, I'm usually into, you know, my romantic love songs from the 80s. But this reminds me of like a cosmic love, a union, a connection between spirits and beings. Every time I look at it, that's what I pick up on. And it just makes me love the deck more and more every time I look at it. And like I said before, the use of color and image, it just draws you deeper and deeper in. And depending upon what you're meditating on, like for instance with this one, you could be meditating about the earth. It could be Earth Day, or it could just be a time when Mother Earth is distressed and you're, you know, thinking about it. And these images just pull you deeply in. And some of these beings look humanoid. Like she at the bottom right here, she looks humanoid, but these do not. They look more dragon, if you ask me. And some of them, like my favorite one, the water card, that being does not look human at all. She's blue. She has several different arms. She kind of reminds me of one of the Hindu goddesses, Kali Ma, but Kali is fierce. And that particular one, she wasn't fierce. She was watery, more nurturing kind of an energy. But she had a whole bunch of arms, and that's what reminded me of Kali Ma. So let me know in the comment section if you have seen this deck and if you've considered getting it. There are lots of dolphins, so if you're into dolphins, it's going to be good for you. But my only thing is that if you're somebody who does not like colors, you may struggle with this deck, because this is the most colorful deck I have ever seen in my life. And I love colors, as you guys already know from my ensembles. And so that to me is perfect. But if that's something that you're just not feeling, you probably would want to sit out on this one. I don't even think this deck would be the same if it wasn't in color. If it was black and white, it just would not grab me the same. The colors really do it for me, but I'm a color person, so. And look at these beings. Remember I told you about these beings? They kind of remind me of the beings from Avatar. A little bit, not exactly. And the bubbles, I mean, like, this is an amazing deck. And one of the things I was telling you guys about the cardstock is very matte. So they're very easy to photograph. So I've seen a lot of people on Instagram using these pictures, these images in their daily polls and in their pictures because of how beautiful they are. Look at her. Look at her. She's like, Mom. That's what I get from her is Mom, you know, and her arms outstretched like that. And you see the DNA. I don't know what this is, you know. I don't know what Izzy Ivy was channeling, but whatever it is, it speaks to me. And that's why I said for people who are into meditation, this could be a wonderful way. Usually when I do my meditations, I do guided meditations, but lately I've been doing things like staring at things and staring at candles, for example, staring at a fire. Those are great meditations. But I'm also like, this deck is something else you could stare at. I'm sure there's plenty of decks like that. Like, for instance, Soul Cards 1 and Soul Cards 2. You probably could do something similar with them, but it's still different. I've never seen beings or energy, anything. That's what it is. It's the energy. I've never seen beings or energy like this before in my entire life. Look at this one. Like, what kind of beings are those, you know? Like, I've never seen anything like these before in my life. So it would make perfect sense that she channeled them. And it would also make perfect sense for them to be from, you know, Lemuria. Because we don't know what the Lemurians look like. I think that they told me in the book, the one by Lucy Cavendish, she does describe them. So we do have some information on that. But I just don't know it yet. So maybe this is what they look like, or maybe certain ones. Maybe there's different races on Lemuria. I don't know. But looking at these, this touches me deeply. So you can tell me, what do you think by looking at it? But for me, it really touches me. So I've been pulling these and looking at them, and that flower on top of her head reminds me of the crown chakra opening up. I mean, just like, there's so much here when you just stare at them. There, look at that. Oh my God, that is amazing. When you just stare at them, there's just so much here. And I really like the fact that there are 56 cards, because in most Oracle decks, you're lucky if you get 40. Seriously, you get 40, 44 seems to be the going number. And I'm okay with 40-ish cards, you know. But to have 56 of these beautiful images is just a treat. It really is. It's just a treat. And if you go to Izzy Ivy's Etsy, you can buy these. You can buy not only the deck, but you can buy them as like tapestries. And I really want one for my wall. I'm like, I want to pick the one. It's going to be hard to pick one. I might have to buy more than one and put it on my wall. This is Mount Shasta. Remember I said that they said that some of the people from Lemuria, maybe even all of them, escaped? This is where they're believed to be, Mount Shasta. From what I understand, this is a real mountain in, I think it's California. And many people believe they escaped and are living inside of this mountain. So I've never been there before, but other people have told me that it's a really beautiful place. Everything about this deck screams unconditional love. Those are the words that I get from it. Unconditional love. And I love the fact that it's so different. and the numbers. And Izzy was saying that other people have channeled similar, not the same, but similar images. Especially she mentioned the numbers that she gets over and over again. And if you stare at the cards, you'll see certain ones have repetitious numbers. And she said that other people who've been channeling Lemuria mentioned the same thing. And the messages that are on the cards, they're mostly about, they're not so much, I'm trying to think of like how to put it. I'm gonna pull one. I'm gonna have to just show you, because the messages are like messages for every day. They're not messages, you know, somebody asked me were they like these, you know, extraterrestrial type messages. And I'm like, no, they're really more like, what would I call them? They are energy. Some of them do talk about your energy and protecting your energy and using your energy. That does come up. And you do have some like otherworldly type things come up. I definitely see that here. But you also get just like practical knowledge of things that are going on in your life. Especially I notice with the chakras. The chakras, every time I get them, there's something going on in that area. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I love the ladder. I love it. And luckily for us, Izzy is still doing art. I hope she does art forever, because I just love it. Maybe she'll do a tarot deck. That would be great too. So the pocket edition just came out recently. This came out about maybe, I bought this like maybe 9 months ago, and the pocket edition I just saw like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, I'm going to get that because I would like to compare the artwork in the two. And plus the messages, remember I told you the messages are on the back of the pocket edition, but they're in the book for this edition. And I have the Isis Oracle, the regular one, and the pocket edition. And what I've noticed that they do is they put the same message on the back of the card, but it's condensed by a lot. So I'm expecting that they'll probably do something similar with this deck. For me, the eyes and the beings really, really get me. I love it. I just love it. It's definitely a collector's item, and it's a practical everyday use item. I pull one of these every day. So look at her. Beautiful. So every day I get a message that matches something that is going on. Tapping into your unique gifts. And look at these things. They mean something. I just can't read it. That's how it makes me feel. It makes me feel like it's German or something. Like it's something that I could read if I knew how. Vulnerability. And you see, right, the Lemurian crystals right there in the background. So I'm going to shuffle these. I hope I showed you the back of this card. The back of the cards is beautiful too. I'm going to shuffle these and pull us one. And we're going to take a look at what it means in the guidebook. So if you do not have this deck and you're looking to get a beautiful deck that you can use for meditation or just practical knowledge, I definitely recommend this one. All right, let's get our card. So we're going to go in the middle. Shuffle these babies up just a bit. Take the top one. Ah, okay. And it is the Earth Chakra. And here's our book. We're going to go to page 1. Now, I will tell you, there's a lot. They talk a lot. There's a great introduction. Izzy talks about the Lemurians. She talks about her processes. She talks about all the cards. There are some here, some spreads. Message for today, flow of life and the life purpose. So if you want to do a spread or a layout, there's a couple here, and there are also some more. So there's quite a lot. I like these. So you can go magical with this. You can go, you know, decision making with this. You can go pretty much anywhere you want to go with this. And there's some more. So there's lots. There's a lot. I'm going to try a couple of these. I like that. So now we're going to go to our interpretation. So it says here that this chakra represents oneness, collective consciousness, anchoring transmissions from the higher realms, shared earth knowledge, integration of the divine, and working with the grid lines. She gives you a message, how to restore, some themes, and healing position you can actually do. And the color is brown. And as you can see, she does that for each card. And then when you get past the chakras, it is just the meaning of the card. And as you can see, it's a substantial amount of information. It's, you know, if you're looking to learn something, you definitely will learn something from this book. So that, my dears, is the Beyond Lemuria Oracle deck. So when you're finished watching this video, let me move this out the way. There you go. Please check out underneath the video for all the links that I promised you. I will give you the link to this deck. I will give you the link to the pocket sized. I will give you the link to Lost Lands by Lucy Cavendish. And I will give you the link to where you can buy an authentic Lemurian crystal if you so choose. Thank you so much for watching. I love this deck. So if you love it too, go get it. See you guys later. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.